All right, thanks very much. Let's jump right into post-debate analysis. Wes, I'm going to start with you. Anything in the debate that you saw Monday that would hurt Mitt Romney's chances of winning on Saturday?
No, he's a shoo-in. He's going to win. I think the fight at this point is who's going to get second to go on to Florida. Well, it'll finally be who is the one Mitt alternative. Is it going to be Santorum or Newt? So going into the next debate on Thursday night, I really think that's what you're going to see. I think you probably will see a less emphasis on Romney and more between Newt and Santorum going after each other. And obviously, Rick Perry's done.
Yeah, the debate on Thursday is in Charleston. Any prediction as to who right now, Wes, you think will finish second among that Gingrich or Santorum deal?
Yeah, I'll tell you exactly what I think. I think it's going to be Mitt Romney first, then Newt Gingrich, Rick Santorum, Ron Paul, followed by Rick Perry.
Now, Newt Gingrich did say last week, I think it was, that if Mitt Romney wins in South Carolina, it's pretty much game over. We all think Romney's going to win Saturday. We all think Romney's going to be the nominee. It won't be mathematically over, but is it a situation now where, to use a sports analogy, where Romney's kind of just running out the clock and not hoping to make a huge mistake and blow the lead?
Yeah, I mean, I think the game's over after South Carolina, but these guys got big egos, and no one has a bigger ego than Newt Gingrich, so I can see him going on to Florida.
Mitt Romney tied, or in a virtual tie, maybe it's 1 percentage point off with Barack Obama if you look at some of these national polls. Phil, is Romney the one candidate that Democrats who are pushing for the Obama re-election did not want to see? Were they hoping one of these other candidates would come out and it would be easier for them?
Oh, I mean, they've looked at it. They've all resigned themselves to the fact that Romney's going to be the nominee, and that's why I think you're seeing an aggressive push by the Obama campaign, the DNC, to start going after Romney. They've been going after him early and often.
If Rick Perry does not do well on Saturday, and we're talking basically 5th out of 5 candidates, is that where it ends? I mean, does he get out by Sunday, Monday? I mean, is there any point?
Yeah, he's gone. I mean, in fact, he could just drop out today. I mean, I really like the guy. Everybody likes the guy. You hear so many activists saying, I really want to be for him, but he just hasn't given me that reason to be for him yet. And I thought that maybe he would reboot that campaign after Iowa. He didn't. He had a really good showing last night, probably the best showing he's had in a debate so far. But game over for Rick Perry. He's done.
And Ron Paul may just stay all the way to the convention.
Yeah, I can see him keep going. He actually came to our caucus meeting today. We had 4 senators endorse him in the last 48 hours. So, he's going to keep going.
It's a big week politically in South Carolina, not just because of the primary, but you've got the State of the State address coming up on Wednesday. Of course, pub politics, that's always a big thing. But also, voter ID came up again because Eric Holder, the U.S. Attorney General, was in town for the King Day rally on Monday. Jesse Jackson, both in Charleston and in Columbia this week, mentioning voter ID, and obviously we have an election coming up, so it's a big thing. I want to put a quote up from Reverend Jackson. This is what he said in Charleston. He said, quote, "You couldn't have Boeing behind the cotton curtain. You couldn't have Michelin tires behind the cotton curtain. When the walls came down, the South could grow. We are not going back to the old South." He's basically saying laws like voter ID would return South Carolina to its racist past. Pretty strong words, Phil.
They are strong, but ever since the Civil Rights Movement, election laws have been about including more voters to go into the polls, and this is the first time in a few generations that we've had a law that restricts access to the polls, and that's what Reverend Jackson was talking about, and that's what we've been talking about. Democrats in South Carolina have been saying about this voter ID law. It has a discriminatory effect on minorities.
Yeah, and it also has a discriminatory effect against dead people. Seriously, we had DMV director said 900 dead people voted in the last election, and come on, Wes, 900 dead people.
What Wes is forgetting to tell you is that none of those numbers have been actually verified. Colonel Schwedo of the Department of Motor Vehicles could not even answer the simple question if he's double-checked these numbers, and that's a real shame.
It's like the Sixth Sense. I see dead people. I see dead people.
I think our DMV director should be concerned about the DMV issues and not his the election issues.
Well, listen, I mean, I can't say anything. The DMV director, he says that's what happened. Whether he verified him or not is hard to say. All we know is what the man told us, and that is 900 dead people voted.
It's also an interesting fact that Colonel Schwedo finally bothered to register to vote on February 4th of this year, after he was appointed by Governor Nikki Haley.
And I will tell you, anybody that goes to the DMV right now knows those lines are a lot shorter than they used to be. So I think the guy's doing an all right job.
Well, we do know that these records have been turned over to SLED for an investigation, so we'll be waiting to see how that turns out. I mean, listen, there is a lot of focus on South Carolina now. We've been talking about voter ID for a long time now. Of course, we're not the only state doing it as well, but because I think we have a primary this week, then there's a lot of attention on this as well with the
I do wonder how many dead Democrats are going to come out and vote in the primary on Saturday.
it just, you know, it's past the point of being funny when you're passing around these stereotypes.
Dead people stereotypes.
There's
man.
never a dull moment in South Carolina politics. We have learned that. All right, guys, once again, thanks a lot. We'll have you, by the way, Phil and Wes are going to be with us Saturday night during our 10 o'clock newscast when we break down the South Carolina primary. That should be fun. PubPoliticsLive.com is also the website to see these guys go back and forth in various pubs. Big week in South Carolina politics. Not much sleep for you guys coming up this week. So we appreciate the time, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Thanks, man.
All right, back to you.